In this video, I'll be talking about filing an initial DACA and what are the requirements. So first of all, DACA is a specific process where the government will give you a work authorization document if you meet certain requirements. If you meet those requirements, you are eligible for DACA and you can submit it. So there have been two major decisions this year, 2020, that are favorable towards DACA. First, in June of this year, the Supreme Court allowed DACA to continue even though the Trump administration attempted to cancel DACA. And most recently, there was a case in December that said that the USCIS has to continue to accept initial DACAs. As of December 7th of 2020, USCIS posted on their website that they are now accepting initial DACAs, advanced paroles, and they continue renewing DACAs, and these DACAs are going to be for 2 years. So let's talk about the requirements. So first, you have to have been under 31 years old as of June 15, 2012. The other way I look at it, if your birthday was June 15, 1981 or before, you do not qualify for DACA. Second, you have to have come to the United States before your 16th birthday. We also have to show that you have been living in the United States since June 15 of 2007 to now, or whenever you file your application. And we have to prove that you were physically present in the United States on June 15, 2012. There's also the educational requirement that you have completed your schooling, high school or GED. If you haven't done so, that you're enrolled in that type of program. And also that you don't have any significant misdemeanors or felonies. It all depends as to what type of misdemeanor you have. Some are issues, some are not. So there's still some steps. If you do have a crime, sometimes it can be set aside, or maybe the crime doesn't even matter for DACA purposes. As to the documents that you need, you have to have a government ID, so usually a passport from your home country, 2 passport style pictures. The filing fee of the government is $495, a copy of your birth certificate, and the proof that you were here before the age of 16, that you were present on June 15 of 2012. How can we prove that? Well, there's a lot of school records that we can provide, medical records. That's where it gets a little bit trickier. We have to prove that you have been here since 2007 to now. So that's a span about 13, 14 years, depending when you're submitting your DACA application. And we basically have to show month to month. If you're in school for a lot of those periods, you can get those school records and that'll cover most of the period. The issue comes where in the summer months, many people didn't go to school, many didn't have a job. So there's going to be a gap of 3 or 4 months where sometimes if you're living with your parents, we can use secondary evidence. For example, their utility bills and showing that you were living with them at that time, letters. As long as we have the most of the months, we can still supplement the missing gaps with other information. And we have to show proof of your school. Like I said, if you have graduated or if you're enrolled, we just have to show proof that you're enrolled at the time that we filed for this application. And also the advanced parole. This is where we ask the government for permission to leave and re-enter the United States. And this is because of a humanitarian reason. Usually like a sick family member, we have to show proof that they have health issues and you want to go visit them. The government will not authorize an advanced parole just because you want to take a vacation or work. Usually it has to be a compelling reason or humanitarian reason why. So if that's available, that's something always you can consider. But before you do that, I really recommend that you go talk to an immigration lawyer to talk about the consequences of leaving the country and coming back, and that there are not going to be any issues if you do that. So I hope that video was insightful. If you have any questions, my number's on the screen. Thank you and have a nice day.